Hello everyone, my name is Garcia and I am here to teach you about ArcGIS Online and Survey 123. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to search for ArcGIS Online and you are going to log in into your account. If you do not have an account, you can make a free account with Esri, but I will let you know that to access things such as Survey 123, you will need to have a paid subscription to it. You can choose to use I believe it's a 60-day free trial subscription, or you can be like myself and have to be within an organization, or in this case, the university I'm with, to access it. Because unfortunately, the free users don't get to automatically access things such as Survey 123. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go in between the bell and your name into these little dots. You'll click on that and you'll scroll all the way down, and it'll be one of the last ones, Survey 123. So when you get here in the main page, if you are new here, it will obviously not have any surveys. So you will hit New Survey, and there are a couple of things to choose from. We are going to use the blank survey for today. I feel like it's very easy for beginners and is more accessible. Using Survey 123 is a bit more advanced. You need to learn from spreadsheets and the template surveys. You can choose predetermined templates, but we're just going to start basic and from scratch. So we're going to need to name our test, so we're going to be calling it just test. Necessary tags, just test again. And the summary is what it'll be about. So I'll just put, this is a test, and I will create. And then once it is done creating, it's a very friendly user interface that is very easy to navigate. So this is what it's going to look like right here. So obviously there's my name, and that's what the summary is. And it says, please drag from or press on the right panel to add your first question. So you'll see right here along the add button, there's a lot of different choices I can use to make my survey. So let's start simple. I can either click on the single choice option, or I can click and drag, and that'll be my first question. Now, because of this first question, it's now under the Edit tab. So this is where you would actually type what you want for your question. So the first question I'll say is, how are you today? And then for the hint is basically telling the user what to do. So I'll say, select an option. And these are my choices of what the people are going to pick. So let's say one is good, one is okay, and one is bad. And you can choose the appearance of this. So for vertical, it'll be like this. Horizontal or horizontal compact basically means you'll save more space if you have a whole lot of questions. But we're just going to keep it by default, keep it vertical. And you can click on things like validation and make it a required question. So let's go ahead and add another question using something different. This time we're going to do, let's do a Likert. So this is yours right here. And we'll say something like, how likely are you to, let's say, eat pizza today? And again, I can say the same thing, select one option, or I can just choose not to. It just depends. And you have different values from 3, 5, 7, or a custom, but we're just going to keep it as is and keep the same thing from strongly agree to strongly disagree. And again, we can make this a required question as well. And then the next one we're going to do something a little different. Let's do a rating. So for our third question is, what do you think about this survey? And of course, we can make the user like have a hint for them saying 1 equals bad and then 5 equals good. Something simple. Of course, again, you can change the value from anywhere, custom. We're just going to keep the 5 stars for now. And we could also choose, if we don't want stars, things like a heart or likes instead. But in this case, we're just going to do stars just to keep it nice and simple. And we're going to go ahead and make this a validation or required question. And let's say we want something a little different. Let's say, for example, we want a signature. In this one, we can say, please sign here. And of course, we already told the person what to do. We don't need a hint. And we'll just leave it as is, saying, please sign above the line. We'll make it a required question. And from here, you can make the appearance a little different. So you can choose from different themes, like different colors like this, or if you want specific backgrounds. If your organization has a shared theme, you can use that theme. Or if you already have existing surveys, you can choose a theme from those, or go into the custom themes and make your own. And with the layout element, you can choose to say, oh, well, I want the survey header to look a little different, the description to be hidden, or the footer at the very bottom. And here are the other additional options you can choose. Have a thank you screen, have a preview for this, okay? And you can also choose to prompt the user to submit another record, but I just want one record for one person. So I like it so far. I'm going to hit the preview on the bottom. So then it's going to go into preview mode. And on the right, you can see the different ways the user will see it. So right now we are in the desktop mode. This is what it looks like for the desktop user. And of course, this is what it looks like for a smartphone user and what it'll look like for a tablet user. But right now we're going back to desktop and we're just going to fill it out, good. How likely are you to eat pizza today? I agree I'd be pretty likely to eat it today. Pretty good survey and sign right here. You would just use the mouse or finger or whatever if you're on mobile. And this is where you would hit submit, but because it's in preview mode, the submit button does not work, obviously. You have to publish it first. So we're going to go over here under close preview. And then once we like it, we're going to save it. And then we are going to publish it. And all changes will be saved. Are you sure you want to publish it? Click yes. And it'll take a little bit to publish, and then it'll officially be on the ArcGIS Online Survey 123 database. And then from there, once you have published your survey, you also have a select choices up here on the top about the collaborate and the analyze tabs, which I'll show you in a moment once it's done publishing. And once again, there are many different other options you can use, such as you can use single multiple choice questions, or there was also things where you can upload an image as a part of the survey. But it says here we've published it successfully. And now we can go up here to the collaborate. Let me move myself here a little bit. Under the collaborate tab, this is basically after you've submitted your survey, you have the link to the survey, and you can choose options on how you want to present this survey. So with this link, they can have them open directly in a browser, ask the user to open it, or open it in an app directly. But we're just gonna leave it as is. And who can submit this survey? We'll say everyone or members, depending on what you want. What can submitters do? If you just want them to add one and not update records or delete records, if you're worried about manipulation of records, just hit only add new records. Draft mode basically means saving in between. So let's say, if the user kind of logs off and logs back on, it'll save its progress. So we'll say sure. Do I want to allow multiple submissions? I'll say no, only one submission per person. And this is where your survey status is going to be for how it'll be open. Open, accepting responses, or it's going to be closed. You can edit this later, or a scheduled time saying, okay, from this day and this time, from this day to this time, it will be open. And once it closes, when it hits that time limit, it'll close. We're just going to say open for now. We're going to save these. And there are also different little tabs on the left side, including how we're going to share. So again, the link to the survey, who can view the results, we'll say everyone. And who can see, either everyone can see all the records or only their own. And what can viewers do? Only view data or export. And I guess we'll go ahead and save that. And you can update the survey, and then you can use group settings, which groups are basically what you would use to submit your survey and share it to groups that are of that likeliness nature. So like, for example, if I was a biologist and I was studying about birds and I found a group, or I could create a group about these specific bird surveys, I would share with them. Now, if we go into the Analyze tab, this is basically where your submissions will be. But because this survey has no records yet, I'm going to go back to one of my surveys that does. There's only one record on there, and that was for myself. And when you do get records, you'll hit in the overview section, and this is what it will look like. So as you can see, there's only one record, when it was submitted, when it was last submitted. You'll hit Analyze, and this is where you get all your analytics from. So these are the questions that was in there, and this was the only record that showed. And you could choose to see it a little differently, whether it be column or a bar or a pie chart or a map, based on if you put a map in that survey where you want it to locate it. So again, this is your analytics on where it is. So there's only one for neutral, obviously 100%. And it'll be the same thing like the others. And you are able to also click right here to see your questions and where they are as you scroll. And that is where you'll get to all of your analytics from. And same thing with data. Data is also where it was recorded. It'll show you where it was recorded. So of course it's in the area where my university is. And from there you can share it however you want using those settings, or you can choose to update it and design it a bit more. And yeah, thank you very much. That would be everything. Thank you.